Okay, I'm Michael Finley, author of The Tesla Conspiracy, and I'm going to offer you some ideas on self-defense. I'm not a martial arts expert. I have some martial arts and self-defense training, and the good thing is you don't need martial arts skills to be able to properly defend yourself. And really, you should keep in mind that everything is a weapon. You just need to know how to use it. Are you going to use it to hurt somebody? Are you going to use it to block an attack? Are you going to use it to blind somebody and give you an opportunity to escape? So let's start with some common everyday items that you might have as you're commuting. Most people will have a cup of coffee with them, nice and hot, and they don't even realize they've got probably what's one of the most ultimate self-defense weapons right there in their hands every day. It's also important to keep in mind that you need to trust your feelings. If you have a gut feeling that something's wrong, then something's wrong. So trust that. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't be like this guy that just got stabbed on a commuter train, I think it was, in California, while he was playing around with his Android phone. Didn't even pay attention, and people around him were all busy with their electronic devices. They didn't even see the attack happen. So don't be like that. Be paying attention to what's going on around you so you can be safe. Now there's a few things to keep in mind for using coffee as a weapon. Okay, the first thing is that it's scalding hot, and you'd rather not get scalded yourself. Second thing is that you want to be careful not to squeeze too hard because you're pumped up with adrenaline in a dangerous situation. You don't want to squeeze that cup too hard, which can then pop it and splash it everywhere. Okay, so you want to hold it firmly but not too hard. Okay, now let's say that somebody's approaching you and you think that it's a dangerous situation. You just want to put one hand over the top of the lid. Okay, this does not look dangerous at all, does it? It doesn't look like you're a threat. Okay. Now you're going to cup your fingers, you're going to wrap your fingers right around the edge of that lid, okay, and just have them in place. Now right now, as far as you know, you're not sure if there's an attack or not. Now it turns into what's obviously an attack. What you're going to do is you're going to pop that lid off, and you're going to throw the coffee right in the guy's face. Now scalding coffee in his face, how long is that fight lasting? It's over. He's going to be blinded for quite a while. Might even have some permanent damage to his eyes, but that's his problem. I don't care how much you paid for that cup of coffee. I don't care if it's your favorite designer coffee. It's worth less than your life is. So don't be afraid to throw that coffee right in the guy's face. There's another important thing to know. You don't stand around and watch the guy flopping around and screaming in pain. You leave. You call the police. If you call the police first, then they're going to be on your side more likely than the other guy. Another thing people often have with them is a magazine. So here you are reading a magazine, you're on your commute, you're reading, and somebody, again, starts to approach you, the situation starts looking dangerous. What are you going to do? Well, again, this is something you could throw at him. You could throw this whole magazine in his face and distract him for a few seconds while you run. But you can also use this as a defensive and offensive weapon by rolling it up. Now one way to roll it is this way, but then you have these flops of paper out here. If you roll it the other way, which can be tricky, but if you've rolled it before, it's easy to do. Now what happens is you have a more solid edge on that side. Okay? Now think about it. Where does paper come from? From wood, right? So this now feels rolled up tight. It feels like a piece of wood. Why does it feel like a piece of wood? Because it's a piece of wood. We just returned it to looking like a piece of wood by rolling it up. Okay? It's just the same as if that was an inch and a half piece of wood doweling. It's like a baseball bat now that you can hit with. Okay? You can, if someone's trying to reach for you, you can whack their hands, you can whack them in the head. A really good place to whack is right on the side of the neck here. There's actually an important nerve that goes up to the brain. You could actually kill somebody striking them on that nerve, or at least knock them out real good. So a good SWAT right on the side of the neck is real solid. Now when you're rolling it up, while you're in the process of rolling that up, you don't look particularly dangerous. You don't look super dangerous like a threat while you're doing that. And you can just be standing here like this, waiting to watch the situation and see whether or not you think it's going to actually turn dangerous. Once you need to use it, you have that ready to go. You can use that to swat somebody's got a knife. You can use it to jab somebody. You poke that right into somebody's belly, right into somebody's eye. That is a real hard edge there. It doesn't bend anymore. Now that it's rolled up tight, it does not bend. It's the same as a stick. Okay, so that's a good thing to have. Another thing a lot of people have with them is a briefcase or backpack. What's this thing filled with? A bunch of papers or books. Guess what? A stack of paper will stop most bullets, or at least slow it down really well. And it'll certainly stop a knife. And look at this. If I turn this sideways and put it in front of my body, I can shield all my vital organs with this case. If I need to, I can squat down, and that can actually protect more of me because of bunching up my body. Also, this can be used to hit with. Swing right across on somebody. Pow! Right upside somebody's head. That's a darn good weapon to have. And again, the way that it'll stop things. A bullet might get through, depending on how much paper and stuff you've got in there. It might still reach you, but it's going to be slowed down, and therefore it's going to penetrate less into your body and give you more protection. Okay? And what you want to do is you want to keep this just right below your eyes so you can see over the edge of it. You want to kind of crouch a bit, and you want to direct that towards what's coming at you. If someone's coming at you with a knife, you're going to go and just put that in front of the knife. If someone wants to punch you, okay, either out here, but now you're going to have to use your arms to absorb the punch, right? If I put it right against my body so that there's no space, when they punch that, it's going to hurt them. It's not hurting me. They can punch it as hard as they want to. They might even swing a baseball bat at me and hit that. And it's not going to hurt me, because that is absorbing the pressure instead of my body absorbing it. So that's really good stuff. Now another thing that can be used in self-defense, which you might not realize, and everybody's carrying one, usually if you're doing any kind of a business stuff, you're carrying one, is a pen. Okay? I'm hoping that after seeing this, you are not going to look at a pen or any of these objects in the same way again. Standard ballpoint pen. Nice disposable pen. Again, even if it's your favorite pen, your life is worth a whole lot more. Okay? Now what you want to do with a pen to use it in defense is you want to turn it backwards like this. Have it right up against your hand. Now if I'm standing here, you can't tell I've even got a pen in my hand. You can't tell I have anything in my hand, right? And yet I can swing it up and I can stab with it. Okay? So if someone throws a punch at me, I'm going to try to deflect the punch. I'm going to stab them right in this part of their arm, right where their elbow bends. Just jab it right in there hard. It's going to go deep. Guess what's in there? An artery. This will bleed them out. Okay? So I'm going to stab them in the elbow, or I'll go right for their throat. Okay? Now this dragged right across a windpipe is going to do a huge amount of damage. I'm going to turn this around so that I'm not stabbing myself and show you. You got the windpipe right here. And with the man, we'd have a nice Adam's apple here. Okay? If you go in on this side, right next to the windpipe, there's a nice indentation here. That's the femoral artery. Okay? If I hit that and cut and drag this right across the windpipe, slicing it through, I've now severed the main artery to the brain and the air supply for the body. Again, a fight that's over in about 1 to 2 seconds. Boom, with a pen. I'm going to show you real quickly the kind of damage that a pen can do. And another thing you could do with a pen, someone's throwing a punch at you and you don't want to do all that stuff, you don't want to kill them. Someone's throwing a punch at you and you just put the pen up to block the punch. The punch is coming at you, you put the pen in the way of the punch. and they're punching real hard. You know how deep that'll jab into that guy's hand? I bet he's not going to be throwing too many more punches for a while after that at you or anybody else. Even if it doesn't go perfectly in, you're still going to do some major damage, tearing up the sides of his hand. Again, you are not an easy target anymore. So there's a cucumber, kind of similar in consistency to human flesh. Okay, so again, going into that to the crease of the elbow here. Did that go in all right? It went that deep. That's what it would do inside someone's arm. Okay? Also inside someone's throat. That easy. Okay? Someone throws a punch. Again, that much of that pen went into the guy's hand. That's some serious damage. Okay? Going across the windpipe. Pretty easy to do some serious damage with just a ballpoint pen. I like cucumber. Anyway, so just some ideas. There's many more you can use. Breath spray can be used like pepper spray. Grabbing a handful of dirt, sand, any other kind of liquid or thing that has small particles in it can be thrown into the eyes to blind somebody. But you want to do it by surprise. Okay? Someone shoves you down, you're on the dirt, you're on some gravel or sand, you grab a handful of it. They won't even realize you got a handful of it. Throw it right in the eyes. It takes a long time to get sand out of your eyes, coffee out of your eyes, Diet Coke out of your eyes. Okay? Maybe you're carrying a bottle, okay, and you can hit somebody with that bottle as well as splashing the liquid in their face. There's so many things you can do. Just think. Take some time to think. Another thing I wanted to show you really quick is most people are wearing weapons in addition. I have a belt here, a leather belt. Okay? And I can take it off this fast. And now I have something to fight with. This can be swung with that nice steel buckle, hitting somebody. Okay? Another thing that can be done is a technique of popping. Okay? So let's say somebody's coming at me with a knife or a club. I can pop at it and it'll bounce it back. It's a good defense. Okay? I can also wrap this around somebody's arm. Someone's throwing a punch. I can wrap it over their arm and then I can throw them. I can yank their arm and control them. I can also go right around the neck with it. Get behind the person and be choking them with that belt. There's all kinds of things you can do with everyday items. Remember, everything is a weapon, and if someone's going to attack you, they are endangering your life. You don't need to stand for that. You don't need to be a victim. You can win. And as soon as you can, you leave. But you get the fight over with as quickly as you can. That's why I'm showing you techniques that can have a fight over with in a second or two in your favor. Thank you. Stay safe.